Okay, guys, welcome to the daily practice journal, day 13. Um, we're going to dive in today. We're going to start a little bit different. Instead of doing my goal setting and kind of practice plan ahead of time, I'm going to do that here on the live stream. And what I'm going to try this week is I'm going to try creating the goals for the week. So this is week 44 of the year. We're going to set out some goals for Hanon, Beethoven, Chopin, and Bach for the week. And then at the end of the week, we are going to check it out and see what I made it to, see if we're able to reach the goals that we had for this week. So that's where we're headed today. So first and foremost, we're going to start with our goals for the week. So for Hanon, last week we left off. I did a terrible job with my notes last week. And honestly, I mean, this is the daily practice journal, so this is being real, being raw, and being honest. Like, I am struggling with this whole live stream thing, with practicing regularly and daily. I'm not getting the practice time I want to off the air or on the air. I ended last week. It was a really big struggle to get through Friday. But here we are. It's not Monday. I missed yesterday. Didn't work out, but just trying to still show up today and keep going. So thankful for my wife. She reminded me today, hey, the moments in life that really count and that are a big deal are the ones, the moments that count are the ones where you don't want to be doing something that you need to do and you still show up and do it. So that's what I'm doing. My goal for today is to spend about an hour till about 12:45 or 12:40. So for this week, we left off with, I think, exercise 33. So today we're going to have 33, 34. Wednesday we would have 34, 35. Thursday 35, 36. Friday 36 and 37. Yeah. Okay, so our goal this week is to get through 37. Let's go to Beethoven. Let's see what our goals are there. I'm going to turn that back. We're starting on 33. And our metronome is going to be around 70. So Beethoven. Our goals for Beethoven. We've got so the goal is to get this to around 120. I don't even know what I can play it at. Might be. I'm going to set this stuff aside for a second. I was playing with the reverb before. So I'm going to say 96 all the way through. This week we're going to focus on the Allegro con brio. Metronome at 96 throughout. And I'm going to let the metronome be my magnifying glass as to where specifically in this piece I need to spend a lot of time, because I'm sure, it's easy to start there at that pace, but I'm sure going through here we're going to find some spots where I'm like, yoicks, that's not great. Okay, so that's the first first movement. We're going to skip the second movement. Third movement isn't so bad. those I feel like I can sight read those fairly well, and they're okay. Doesn't mean they're great or that they don't need work, but we're gonna go to the rondo, and I want to set a metronome goal there, and then that'll help us be the magnifying glass for what we still need to do. We're trying to get to Allegro, which is, according to my metronome, anywhere from 98 to like 110. So let's start at like 86. Let's see. Yep, 86 is going to be way too fast for both hands. Something like 68 might be better. Yep, that's going to be a good goal for us this week. And my goal is to just get it there. Metronome at 68 throughout. That's my goals for Beethoven this week. So let's carry on. I want to look at Bach next. So my goal, like I was saying before, my goal this week is going to be like Hanon, just getting through there, just doing the work, just showing up and doing that. Beethoven is going to be to try to get it to these tempos throughout. And so each day that's going to look a little bit different. Today being the first day might look like, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Need to finish planning for the week. I've been flying kind of blind. I've been planning each day, but there's no like overarching goal other than January 26th is the 10-year anniversary of my undergraduate recital, and I want to be able to play this stuff. Not a great plan because there's not a clear path forward. It's just play until you get better, and that gets pretty discouraging pretty quickly when you've got a lot of work to do. So I want to do better at creating a structured plan of what's going on and what we're doing. So in the Bach, we're going to be definitely need to spend some time with the Allegro section and the theme section. The first page, I'm going to need to start looking at, but again, that's a spot that I can kind of sight read. So this week, I want to get the theme section. I have a note in here for my undergraduate that 88 was what we were working towards. Let's see how that feels here at the start of the piece. Okay. Okay, I need to do some research and make sure that's a good tempo. But for this week, I think working towards 88. And research the tempo for some other professional recordings. And see what we can find. Maybe even see if there's some commentaries that we could read about and see what tempo that should be at. So that's how I'm going to approach that section. This section here that's more of an adagio. That's what I've written. Does need some work, but I'm not focusing on that yet. Because again, it's almost at the level that I can just sight read it. Obviously, I can't sight read it well enough to perform it, but it's not something I feel that needs a lot of work. I've got 103. Let's see what 103 feels like here. There's a trill there that I definitely was not able to get at that speed. So yeah, I think finding some practice spots in there at that pace I think is going to be great. I also want to research the tempo for that, make sure that's a good tempo, make sure I'm not going too fast. So that's great. Let's go on to Chopin. And again, today is going to be, it's a well-worn book, so we're just going to set the cover aside. Today is just going to be, after I set these goals, actually going in and finding some actual practice spots. I've got my calendar pulled up here beside on my screen in front of my keys so that I can see the times that I have set aside. So I've got the live stream time that we're doing right now, and that's going to be the rest of my planning session for today and for this week. And then from there, I've got another block of time blocked out here later this afternoon before I start teaching, while a friend is here recording a podcast. So I've got time set aside ahead of this to actually go in and play. And what that's going to look like for me is going to be using the metronome as my magnifying glass. I've set the metronome to know what my goal is for this week, what to get to, and then I'm going to use that as the magnifying glass to work through the piece and find specific spots that don't match up with that metronome marking, that don't allow me to, where I'm not able to play that pace consistently. And then it'll be diving in to figure out, is it the harmony that I don't understand? Is it the fingering that I don't have a good command over? Is it a choreography thing as far as like arm movement across the keyboard that needs some work and help? And I'm gonna have to dive in and figure that part out. So for this, the Grand Polonaise by Chopin, I don't know that that's going to be a great goal, is having the whole piece at a certain tempo. Then again, it might be a great goal. Might be exactly what I need. This is such a large piece. I think I'm being honest here. I think I'm just overwhelmed and intimidated by how to even go about setting up to plan practice for this large of a piece. Because we've got pages don't really matter because that's going to be dictated by your size of your measures. But we have close to 300 measures 279 measures in this one piece. Okay, so let's take maybe we take the first 100 measures and really get comfortable with those. Yeah, I think that'd be a great goal. That's going to put us about here. So through measure 104. And I don't even know, honestly. Like a metronome marking could be good, but this is supposed to be... I mean, I know these notes fairly well. For me, in this, it's going to be a lot of choreography, I think, of what's going on, getting in there. Let's see if I have any notes. I've got lots of notes, but... Okay. The tempo marking here, I don't know if it's from Chopin or just the editor, is 96. The tutti has a much faster, well, not much faster, but quite a bit faster tempo of 126. It's about 30 BPM faster. I'm not seeing any other tempo. I need to research if the tutti versus the solo has more movement in it whenever the tutti comes in. If that's supposed to move ahead more. It could. It only comes in a couple times, I think, that I remember and that I'm seeing. Oh, there's 3. Okay, so 1 is going to be to research tempo between the tutti and the solo. Okay, and then for measures, for these other measures, the metronome's at 96, which I know that's going to be about impossible for me right now. I don't know that I even had it at that tempo when I had it. Yeah, not even remotely close to that right now. Maybe something like 68. Yeah, I think something like 62 might even be better. One, 2. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. You can obviously tell where I've spent most of my time this month. The month of October. I think I started this towards the beginning of October. A little disappointed. If this is just a journal or a diary of my practice, a little disappointed that I'm only on day 13. should be much further than that, but hey, I'm going to focus on the positives and be thankful that I showed up as much as I did. Could I have showed up for more? Yes. Do I wish I'd showed up for more? Yes. So that's all right. Tomorrow starts a new month, November, and we're going to do better. We're going to do different. So here's to the next month, basically. All right. So for measures 1, well, really measure 17 to 104. Metronome at 62. I'm going to say metronome at, actually, 62. Hands alone. Not even hands together. And I want to pay attention to the articulation. Really articulate. And I want to focus on that because this piece has a lot of, accents, staccatos, lots of different slurs within the phrasing, and I want to make sure that I'm paying attention to all that. And I think I can do a better job at performing this time around if I spend some extra time paying attention to that kind of stuff, the pedal marking. That's a really great idea, the pedal marking, because I know last time I was just kind of pedaling it. I wasn't actually paying attention to what was notated. Okay, so this week we've got our goals for the week 44. Okay. Where do we go from here? So from here, what I'm going to do with the last 40-ish minutes that we have together, we've got 40 minutes and I've got 4 things to get through. What I want to do is I want to work through each of these spots as quickly as I can, but as thoroughly as I can. So we're going to start back with the Hanon. I might not spend the full 10 minutes. Well, if we got 40 minutes, we might as well do 10, 10, 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the Hanon, and I'm just going to work my way through with the metronome. And we'll talk about it more when we get to the Beethoven, the Bach, and the Chopin. But Hanon, really, I've talked about the idea of what I'm trying to accomplish there. I'm not trying to get it perfect. I'm not trying to get it great. I'm just trying to get it learned and push ahead and do that consistently at a slow, consistent tempo that I can control to 70 or 80%. And then when I circle back through the book later, maybe in a month or two, maybe not a month or two, I'm not sure. Well, I haven't put in as much practice as I needed to this month, so that maybe a month. We'll see. The idea is just play it at a decent clip. Play it in a way that allows you to get it 70, 80% of the way there at that tempo, and then let it be, and let that marinate, and then come back to it. So I will be right back. I'm going to take a brief break before we dive in, get a couple things set, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Let's do it. So we're starting with the Hanon Exercise 33. I'm going to set a 5-minute timer and get that rolling here. Metronome. I said I'd like to get it to 70. So let's start at 60 and see how that goes. So we're in 6/8. see, I want to make sure that I'm doing this correctly. Having just not thinking about this correctly. I think it's really the barring, the way that they barred these together. Struggling, making my mind struggle with how to keep this tempo. Yeah, so it should be 3 beats per measure, basically. Yeah, so that's going to be quite slow and boring. Honestly, let's just try to do it at 70. See where we land here. Okay, and we're going to be going all the way up to here. Okay. Okay, with a little bit of time to spare, so we're going to move on to repeat this measure 10 times. Okay, wow. Measure exercise 34. We're going to get this going again. Keep it right there at the same tempo. And I want us to repeat this measure 10 times. Same concept as before. We're just going to 4 instead of only to 3. My left arm is pumped pretty nicely after that. So I'm going to give it a little break while I figure out where we're going with this. Okay, pretty simple coming down and going up. So going up, we're trading with the 2, coming down. Trading with the 4. Cool. All right. So in the previous one, we had 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. 24 divided by, and we missed two or three measures. So that's what I'm going by. That's what I'm going to go by as far as that 80% level. I'm not going to allow myself to go. Just came up with that on the spot. I was like, how are you going to hold yourself to that as you're practicing to make sure that things are not getting out of hand and that you're actually playing at 70 or 80%. So 24, so 10% of 24 is 2.4. So I missed 2 or 3 measures, so I got it like a 90% or a little under, roughly, on that. So I'm pretty happy with that, and that's why we're moving on to the next one. In fact, I think we could probably just make that the thing. And what I mean by that is, like, if I'm able to get through this one, same kind of thing, we'll just move on ahead. I've just been trying to do 2 a day, but I think if we could just get it to 80% at a specific speed, which is 70, I think we should be able to move on and not be staying there. That's 4, I think. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here we go. Oh, I didn't end with that right. I'm really chicken winged out there. That's not good. Okay, all right. So not a lot of time left, so we're just going to keep moving. So tomorrow I will come back and start with measure 34. Not measure 34, exercise 34, and keep going from there. We're going to move to the bottom of the page, Chopin. And I'm doing that because I'm the least excited to practice Chopin. Chopin is honestly one of my favorite composers from when I was an undergrad. It does not feel that way when I've come back to this stuff to try to relearn it. It is what it is. So that's why we're going to start right here. Excuse me. So, all right. 62 is our metronome. Let's see how far we can get. We've got 10 minutes to try to find some trouble spots. And it's becoming more apparent to me why I'm not looking forward to practicing this, just because it's of where it's at. Got 3 clicks, 1, 2, 3. So 1. Woo! Yeah, that's way too fast for me right there, man. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. As a songwriter, I have so much respect for Chopin. Not only to be able to play this, not only to be able to play this, but to be able to come up with it. Okay, one more 5-minute section. We're finding real quick here close to home. Lots of stuff. 1, 2. 2, 3. No? 1, 2, 1, 2. No, ba, ba, da. That all needs to be one fluid thing leading to this B flat. Yeah. So the choreography there needs to be this bounce, bounce, hit, 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 hit. Mm, mm, mm. And then, bah. Aye. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Wow. This is going to be good this week. Really good. Really good. No, I want that to be. Bum. That's got to be super smooth. A nice line all the way down. Yeah. That's too fast. Oh man, the choreography and the dance is just not there in my fingers right now or anymore. I'm not sure that it ever really was. I don't know that it was ever played the way that it was supposed to be in my undergrad. I think I just got the notes and that was it. Excuse me. Oh man, okay, all right. So that was more exciting to me, honestly. That was cool. I'm excited about that. So I've got some spots in mind that I'm going to take some notes on right now. So if I do it later, it's not going to happen. So choreography for this piece is big. My right hand, I'm not even sure about the left hand yet. I haven't even looked at that. I'm sure there's going to be some of that. I haven't even started looking at the pedal yet. Just literally trying to get all the details for the right hand that Chopin is as listed. Choreography in the right hand and articulation. We only made it from measure 17 over to about measure 32. And the parts that needed the most work today, where we had to really slow down, and we were only at 50 BPM today. The parts that really slowed us down are measures 26 to 32. These over here, they're okay. They're not terrible, but they're not great. Okay. Let's go hit. We're working our way backwards, so we're going to do the Bach next. Actually, we're going to go in order of least excitement. So Chopin was there. Let's go do Beethoven now. So I am honestly less excited about Beethoven. Again, it's just because of what I've spent most of my time on in this last month. I've spent a lot of time on Bach, and so it feels and sounds the best. All right, Allegro con brio, metronome at 96 throughout. So let's find 96, and let's hit it. See where we start finding. Okay, immediately finding some goodies. And I'm going to be taking notes throughout this time to try to help save time. Measure 4 to 8. The left hand is lagging there. Okay. Measures 10 up 11 and 12. Left hand again, that run. Just needs to be confident, and just roll all the way up. Okay, there. It's going to be an exhaustive list, man. Measure 16 to 20. The right hand. I've developed this really annoying thing over the last few years. I think it's just lack of practice in my right hand, where the starts turning into more of a rolled thing rather than really strict notes. No rolls. So I think slow practice is going to be the answer for that. Hey, found another one. Measure 22 to 29. Left hand control is not existent there right now. Keep that rolling. Yeah, that's definitely a spot. Okay, so there's a couple spots in there. Measure 44. 44 to 47. And then measure 48. No? Yeah. Measure 48 and 49. Both hands. Let's start there. Okay, so for the first section of that piece, yeah, I think that's the gist of the most challenging parts for us in there. There's a few spots I didn't get notated, but that's all right. Okay. That's all the time we got for this, and we're really probably out of time. I do want to go through, we're going to do about 5 minutes of Bach, and then I'm going to have to shut it down. But before I do, measure 81, 81 and 82. No, we'll just say 81 to... Yeah, 81 to 92. Okay, that gets us a start. Okay, and we're going to do we're more familiar. Yeah, let's start with what we're more familiar with. So we'll start over here, 103, just see what we can get to. Okay, that spot. Yeah, okay, so we're going to do... This is not exhaustive lists, but they help. Measure 156. The trill. Actually, we're going to put these together. 156 and 180 to 181. That's our trill. Okay, here we go. Let's keep going. Okay, got another one. I don't feel comfortable up at the top of the page, so 189. 189 down through 199. And I'm just marking down comfort at speed. I also lost, it all fell apart, and measure like 202 to 203. Just that run in the right hand. Yikes. Oh, I never set a 5-minute timer. Dang, okay. Oh, yeah, I didn't. Page 17, I'm just going to put the whole page. It's just not comfortable at speed right there. And we're basically out of time. Cool. All right, well, I am excited. I'm feeling better about this week, honestly. As a practice journal, being honest with you guys and letting you know where I'm at. The start of this practice session was not all really that excited about how it was going and how things were going. But now having a plan and having a goal for the week, I do feel better. I do feel more excited to go and actually practice and sit down and try to make things work. I'm excited to go do a little more practice here this afternoon in just a little bit. So I'll see you guys back here tomorrow and let you know what I accomplished in the time that I had, the hour block I've